Hey, good afternoon, everyone. All right, coming to you live from my home office like usual. And today I don't have any makeup on yet. So, what I wanted to share with you today are 3 tips for using and kind of how to with blending buds. And then I also have 2 bonus tips for you for concealer. So, let's get started. The first thing, I already put primer on my face, and so what I'll do next is I'm going to go ahead and put on my liquid foundation. Now, one thing that I want you to notice is that I am putting my liquid foundation on first as opposed to my concealer. So, I've got this little blemish here. I just have, just from years of not wearing sunscreen. I've got dark spots here on my face, here on my face, here on my face. And so the foundation does a nice job with coverage, but if you do have some additional spots like I do, that you need a little bit more coverage, then you want to go ahead and actually put your foundation on first. Now, if I was doing a full makeup look, I would actually have put the primer on, but then I would have gone and done my eye makeup. And the reason you would do your eye makeup before your foundation is should you get any fallout from your foundation on your face, then you don't have to worry about, any fallout from your eyeshadow, then you don't have to worry about getting any of that on your foundation. It's just on your cheek and you can just, swipe it right off, no big deal. Okay. So I think I've got that on evenly. So if you notice, here's another bonus tip for you I wasn't planning. If you notice, I put my foundation straight down the middle of my face and then I blend it out. That gives you a more natural look. And honestly, I don't think I'm leaving the house the rest of the day. So I'm probably not going to put any eyeshadow on. So I'll just go ahead and add a little onto my eyelids. And as always, just make sure that you've blended down onto your neck a bit so that everything flows evenly. So that does give me some nice coverage, no doubt. But I would like a little bit more coverage. So your first tip for the concealer actually is to go ahead, put your foundation on, and then you're going to apply your concealer on top of the foundation. Now, the reason you want to do this is because your foundation is going to give you some coverage. So rather than kicking on your foundation concealer, this gives you a little bit of a lighter look without feeling cakey. So you already know what kind of coverage you got from your foundation. So now you can apply your concealer on top of that, and you won't have to use as much of the concealer to get the concealed look, which ultimately saves money. So now your first tip for using a blending bud, so I have 2 of them here, is to get them damp. Warm water, cool water, doesn't really matter, but just make sure you're really good. And I even squeeze them into a towel just to make sure that you're dripping water by any means. Okay, so first tip, so your first tip with the concealer was to apply on top of the foundation. Next tip is you actually want to apply in a triangle motion when you're going under the eyes. And I guess this would actually be the third tip of concealer, is if you're going to apply it under your eyes, you actually want to go 1 to 2 shades lighter. Now notice how I'm using this blending bud. You don't swipe it on. What you're doing actually is you're pressing that product into the skin here to give a more flawless look. So this side compared to this side where I haven't added any yet, that is just covering up those spots that I have there very, very well. So as you can see, by doing this, it gives you a nice smooth look for the concealer, and it's giving you really good coverage versus swiping it on. Your next tip for the blending button, the other thing that these can do for you, besides having this nice point on ends so you can get in close to your eyes or around your nose, is with a bigger one, again, damp, you can actually roll it around on your face, and it just helps press in the foundation and just gives you a good look. So if you have brushes that you're using, or if you would be using your fingers, sometimes you can get streaking or some unevenness. So you just come along with your blending bud and just kind of roll it over. It's going to smooth it out super, super easy for you. So those are a couple tips for you. So just a quick recap. Blending buds, make sure you get them wet first. All the way through, squeeze them out into a towel, and make sure they're not, dripping at all. The first tip then, as far as you use them, is to use them for a concealer and really press them in, and it just gives you excellent even coverage. I love it, and it doesn't feel heavy at all. And then the third tip is to take one and just kind of roll it back and forth over your face and help press in that foundation. Then the concealer tips for you are one, to put it on after your foundation so that you aren't having to apply as much because it saves you money. If you are under your eyes, you're going to want to apply a triangle shape versus just kind of right here, because this is your highlight area. If you were to highlight contouring, it really just gives you a nice finish. And then if you are under your eyes, go 1 to 2 shades lighter, especially if you're trying to conceal any dark circles. It really helps brighten up the area. And I guess a fourth tip for concealer is going to be to use one with a dewy finish under your eyes. So because a powder finish can sometimes make it look dry under here, which isn't as flattering of a look. So if you use something with a dewy finish on it, that actually works a lot better. So you got some bonus tips today, but really, I am just in love with the blending buds. I didn't use them a whole lot before, and now I use them all the time because I think that they just do awesome work, and they're so easy to use. So if you have any questions, as always, please let me know. I'm here to help, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.